Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic. We've got Dr. Harley joining us. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, good morning, John.
Kids are back at school, so now they're sitting in the classrooms and they're dragging backpacks back and forth. And there's all kinds of stuff that these are different things than what they're used to in the summer, right?
Yeah, you would think they would remember everything they did the previous school year, but it's like once summer hits, everything gets forgotten. And then when we start the school year again, it's like we have to relearn everything. So one thing I wanted to touch about today, and maybe a couple of things, is, backpacks and how they're sitting at their desk. We've been talking a lot about stress and sickness and that kind of stuff, but also some of the everyday repetitive motions that they're doing that can be causing some of their aches, pains, and that they're noticing. So one thing, especially with the backpacks, is they're a lot of times too heavy.
Mm-hmm. And part of that is they don't necessarily need to carry all this stuff everywhere, but it's easier if they just put it all in the bag and drag it all everywhere. But they don't need to do that, right?
It depends, I guess, on the school. Some schools, they have lockers that they can go back and forth between, and they have time to do it. Sometimes maybe they do need to carry a lot of stuff because they're having to go all the way to the other side of the building. It just kind of depends on what their school looks like.
You could just do what I did. I didn't carry any of those in my backpack. I just had comic books. That's all I needed. Like, well, let's see what Thor thinks about this.
How'd you do in school, John?
I did really well, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, I didn't really read comic books. I was kidding about that.
Sure.
Is Thor even in comic books? I don't even know.
Yes.
So, I just knew it was in the movies. So
yeah. Well, most of those movies came from comic
That's
books.
what I was thinking. I'm trying to be funny, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But no, I think that a lot of the time people do carry way too much stuff in there. So even if they do have to carry all their stuff, maybe they could limit some of the other things, maybe?
Potentially too, but also how are they carrying their backpack? Are they carrying one that's, to begin with, too big? And that comes with like really little elementary school kids. A lot of times they're carrying too big of a backpack. Your backpack should be less than 10% of your body weight.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like that seems like such a small percentage, but obviously the bigger kids, they're going to be carrying a little bit more weight. But also, how are you carrying it? Are you carrying it close to your body? Or are you doing the one shoulder shrug thing? Or do you have a one shoulder bag in general? Or
carry on luggage? Not
have it tight enough too. So that's another thing. If you're carrying a really heavy backpack, how loose is it on you? Because you want that backpack a little bit tighter to you, higher up on your back. Then you're not going to be leaning down with it. It's not going to be pulling you backwards as much.
Do you think they could use carry-on luggage that has the wheels, just roll that from room to room?
I don't know. That'd be a great question for the school principals.
If they make them carry their books everywhere, they should be able to do that, right?
Reach out to Sunny Radio if you have an answer to that. Start doing like a Q&A session.
Yeah, I did. A lot of Q's, not many A's.
Well, maybe your listeners have some answers.
There you go. That's good.
So that's definitely one thing being mindful of, is what's in their backpack, how are they carrying, but then two, how are they sitting in class? What kind of chairs are they using? Obviously, they might not have much of an option with the chairs. I know some school districts are getting a little more progressive with like having different options. What works for them for learning? Do they like this kind of chair, this kind of style? So that's cool. Obviously, if you don't go to one of those schools and you're stuck with like your plain desk, make sure you're sitting upright. I know it's not as comfortable, it's not as fun, you're bored, you're not liking your class or whatnot. But sitting up properly, elbows at 90 and 90, hips and knees at 90 and 90, sitting upright, your back is going to thank you. Your head is going to thank you because you're not having all that forward head posture. It's much better in the long run to have good posture at your desk versus slouching.
Nice. And that's just having the proper posture.
Mm-hmm. Posture is a big factor to a lot of things.
It really is. So if somebody listening is going, hey, I've got some questions, maybe not those silly things I was talking about, but if they get some good questions that might relate to what you guys do, how do they get a hold of you at Balanced Life Chiropractic?
If you have questions about going to a chiropractor or what we do differently in our office or getting started with us, you can reach out to us at 605-215-1785 or message us on our Facebook page at Balanced Life Chiropractic. We'd love to chat and let you know how we can help you or your child have a happier, healthier back to school.
Very nice. You can learn more on their website, and that is BalancedLifeSD.com.